What's up, guys? This is Logic. This is my WWE Smackdown Live August 2019 review. And I gotta say, we got a good show tonight. But before I get into this, guys, please, the more likes, the more comments, and the more subscribers I get, the more YouTube push my video out. And I really want to build my audience. I know there's a lot of wrestling fans that have the same wrestling in mind as me, and they need to hear what I have to say because this is straight facts. I give it to you guys just like how it is. So guys, before anything, like the video, comment if you guys agree with me, if you guys relate, and subscribe. Follow my Twitter. My Twitter is at LogicIsKeyYT. Is LogicIsKeyYT. Make sure you add the YT. Now let's get into the SmackDown review. We got a great show tonight, guys. There were a couple spots where it just was not the best, but we got a good show. It was way better than Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw had a whole bunch of meaningless matches. Tonight or last night, SmackDown was great. So we had a couple good, decent matches, but the highlight of the night for me was Roman Reigns versus Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy showed everyone, the whole world, not just 205 Live, not just that crowd, not just the people who knew him in NXT. It showed the whole world on the main roster why he should be a future Intercontinental Champion or a future United States Champion and eventually become a world champion. So I almost forgot how talented this guy was. We haven't seen him. I'm pretty sure the last time we saw Buddy Murphy was against the Velveteen Dream, and that was a little bit after WrestleMania. So basically, the Superstar Shakeup was the 15 and 16 of April, right? Raw was the 15, SmackDown was the 16. Murphy was added in the 16. Now it's August 14, but yesterday was August 13. So it's been a long time since we saw him wrestle. So he's basically making his debut match with the big dog, the number one guy in the company, the poster boy, Roman Reigns. So Buddy Murphy was always a star on 205 Live, former Cruiserweight champion, but on SmackDown, his match with Reigns just showed the world how much a superstar he can be if they properly book him. So, in my opinion, this has to be one of Roman Reigns' best match. I don't think Brock Lesnar brung Roman Reigns to a better match than what we got tonight. To me, Buddy Murphy kind of led Roman Reigns on, and in my opinion, I hope WWE, Vince McMahon, Eric Bischoff, whoever's writing this show or booking this show, I hope they realize the talent they have in Buddy Murphy. So both Murphy and Reigns put on a superstar performance, and I hope Reigns puts in a good word for Murphy after the match. Even though Murphy lost, this was not a loss. This was literally a win because he won the crowd over, and in my book, that's a win. If you get over just by performing, that's a win to me. So I believe now I haven't looked at all the 16 competitors in the King of the Ring. I know it's out. I should do my research, but we're gonna find out on Monday basically. But I know Buddy Murphy is supposed to be in the King of the Ring tournament. I'm assuming. I think so. My original pick was Andrade. It's still going to be Andrade, but a close second pick is definitely Murphy. If he wins the King of the Ring, this will skyrocket his momentum he already has and build him up to a future star. So, guys, if you guys agree with me, please comment because, in my opinion, I knew how good Buddy Murphy was before he had this match, and now he just blew me away because he had a fantastic match with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns out of all people. He brung Roman Reigns to a good match. So, there's nothing else to say after that. You know this guy's good. And guys, like I said, SmackDown Live was a pretty good show. They left us with another cliffhanger, which I'm enjoying. I'm liking these cliffhangers. It gives you a reason to watch next week. So most of the stories make sense, and we got good to great matches, decent matches, at least decent. And on top of that, I have to keep mentioning this. The 2-hour format is so much better. It's a big plus in my opinion because after a 3-hour Raw, I just want to go to sleep. So, we open the show with Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens gets a Bret Hart reaction, gets a Edge reaction. The crowd went crazy for Kevin Owens. In my opinion, they did this because they built Shane up as a heel so much. He was the most dominant heel on the whole roster, and he wasn't beating people up left and right. He's dominant because he's a McMahon. He has the power to do anything he wants. So for basically Shane to lose to the rebellion character Kevin Owens, a Canadian in Toronto, Canada, to come out after that, what are you expecting? He's going to get the biggest pop. And they pop like he won the world title at SummerSlam. So basically, Owens gets to the ring. They going crazy. They chanting his name, Kevin Owens. Owens says that yesterday marks the 5-year anniversary of the day he signed his WWE contract. And during the years, he created memories and experienced things that he never thought he would experience. He stepped in the ring with people he looked up to and the best in the industry. And on Sunday, he had to be in the ring with someone who called himself the best in the world, and that's far from reality as it can be. SummerSlam will go down as a night he won't ever forget. Basically, his whole family was there, his entire family. He had a sold out arena with people that just want to see him beat up Shane McMahon, and that's the best part because that's exactly what he did. What he will remember is hitting a stunner on Shane because all the fans will remember that moment for the rest of their life. So Kevin says that he's done and he sets his sights on something else. So he says he's done with Shane McMahon, but he's clearly not. But he puts his attention to the King of the Ring tournament. So he says that he's been a WWE fan his whole life and he loves watching the King of the Ring tournament the most. He's thrilled that they bring it back and he's happy that he's in it. Winning the tournament will mean just as much as winning any title he has ever won. And look at the list of past winners: Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, Edge, Bret the Hitman Hart, Owen Hart, and so many more. And he wants to add his name to that list. So he mentions all these legends that were in the King of the Ring, and he basically explains how prestigious and how important the King of the Ring is. I really like this. He's telling the world that it's basically almost as important, and it should be almost as important. It should be on the same level as a championship. King of the Ring should just be another accomplishment that you can tout and you could basically brag about. I am the king. I outstanded everyone in that tournament. I'm the better man. They can build a star by that. So I like them including him saying how much he loves the King of the Ring and how bad he really wants to win it. So after this, Shane McMahon comes out, of course. Now, I did say I do like Shane's character. I don't really like that he's on like every segment. Not every segment, but like majority of the show, they're showing Shane McMahon. But I do like his heel character because he's a McMahon. What can you do? He's a McMahon. He does whatever he wants. That's how it's going to go. They're playing off the Vince McMahon character just now with Shane. Obviously, Shane can't do it like Vince, but it's just something about Shane that I like. I don't know what it is. He's an asshole. And the crowd agrees. Because Shane, his music hits, and the whole crowd, they chant the asshole, whatever. He says, oh, that's not something nice to call Owens or whatever. He's basically saying, they're saying that to Owens. And he basically says that Owens is a cheater. He shows what happened at SummerSlam when Owens kicked Shane right in the balls, low blow. Then after this, the fans, they chant, "Oh, you deserve it." And Kevin said, "How can I be lectured by a man that was a part of the Mean Street Posse?" So that's another low blow just talking to him. So he says, being a man is doing anything to win, especially if your job's on the line, fighting for what you believe in. Shane calls Owens a cheater. He says he will always be known as a cheater. He says he belongs on the unemployment line, and it makes him want to walk down the ring and beat the crap out of him. So Kevin says he's in his fighting boots. So Shane says he won't be doing that, but Owens will be in the match later on. And then he shows a clip of Elias and basically Kevin Owens, he beats Elias up with a steel chair. Shane says Elias was traumatized, apparently. And he has the night off. The 24/7 championship will be suspended, blah blah blah. And he says Elias was wearing a WWE official jersey or whatever. So he said since Elias was representing the company, he has to be protected. So he fines Kevin Owens with $100,000 fine, basically. And Owens freaks out. Now, logic gap. Now, obviously, whatever. Who cares? But yo, I seen referees get taken out over and over and over for years. Why don't everyone gets a fine for that? I know it's a part of the story. He's being a dickhead. He's just fining him just to be an asshole. But you feel me? Logic gap. It should be more fines. I would like to see more fines, but when it's necessary. So obviously Owens, he's upset. He says that, oh, you're taking away from my family. That can be a down payment for a house, my children's college tuition, and he wants Shane to reconsider it. He says if you are the man that you are, well, if you think you're the man, basically, you will reconsider it because he thinks it's crap. Shane looks at him, says nope, drops the microphone and walks away. So I enjoy this. I really enjoy, first of all, this whole thing. Kevin Owens getting the big ovation. Clearly, he's becoming the next biggest baby face now. I really like how they put the King of the Ring in just importance. I already mentioned it, but that's just a big up. I really hope they don't mess the King of the Ring up. And on top of that, I really enjoy that they're continuing the story that they had before. Before Kevin Owens came back and turned heel on Kofi Kingston, they was having a story where they have vignettes of Kevin Owens like eating pizza in a bowling alley with his kids. They were trying to portray that Kevin Owens is like your normal everyday man, your normal hardworking everyday man that just wants to spend time with his family and do everything he can for his family. They're portraying that here too by finding him $100,000, and Kevin is talking about, oh, his kids' college tuition, or he gonna buy a house with that, is taken away from his family. So that just builds sympathy, and that's just a great story to tell. So I really enjoy that. We went to commercial, and when we came back, we see Owens going in backstage. He goes in Shane's locker room. He gets in Shane's face, and Shane said he's not a competitor right now. If he hits him, he will sue him and sue him from everything he has. So Kevin is really frustrated, and he's basically telling him, "Oh, can you please just stop doing this? Can you reconsider it?" Shane says, "No, you have to be taught a lesson." So Kevin says, make it 105,000, and he grabs a stool or like a chair. He throws it at Shane's TV because obviously he's upset. He walks out. Shane is smiling because he got under Kevin's skin because he's the boss. He can do whatever he wants. So great heel story with the everyday man building sympathy for Kevin Owens. So great story so far. So we get into our first match, and it's pretty illogical. Well, not to Vince and the WWE, it might not be, but to me, it's pretty illogical. They made Ember Moon look so weak. And it's not just tonight, it's basically the whole month's worth of her challenging Bayley. They made her look weak. They made her get beat up by Natalya. They made Alexa Bliss pin her. They made her lose at the pay-per-view. And she only gets one win from Charlotte by a roll-up. That was like, I don't know, 10 seconds. So how does Ember Moon look good when she gets a simple roll-up on Charlotte, but tonight she taps out to Charlotte? Now, if they wanted to do that, they could have did it. They could have did it after Ember Moon got some wins. They could have built up Ember Moon and built up Charlotte, because Charlotte has to. This is the thing. Charlotte has to win. I don't want Charlotte to lose now because clearly they're about to put her in a position to face Bayley at Clash of Champions and probably become a 10-time champion, just like her father, whatever. You already know the agenda. You already know Charlotte's getting the push. But still, why have Ember Moon lose right now? Why couldn't you guys build up, have Ember Moon get some wins, have Charlotte continue to get some wins, and right before the pay-per-view to find out another number one contender, have Charlotte versus Ember. If they're gonna do it, they're already gonna do it. That could be the match that Ember Moon taps out, and either way, it still would have looked bad because Ember Moon, the start of the feud with Bayley, it wasn't looking too good. If they build her back up just a little bit by having her have some wins under her belt, maybe it would have been alright. But still, at the end of the day, you have to think about Ember Moon and stop thinking about Charlotte. You have to stop picking your favorites. I know Charlotte is probably one of the best wrestlers, women wrestlers on the roster. I mean, that's in contention because now we have Sasha Banks. In my opinion, I don't even know who's a better wrestler. I'm like 50-50 on both of them. But I know she's one of the best wrestlers in WWE right now. But still, you have to pick somebody else. You cannot always pick Charlotte. We have so many talented women on the roster. Ember Moon is included in this. So many talented women on the roster that need to be showcased in a bigger role. Charlotte does not have to be on top all the time. I don't know. Like, she just, how many times she's gonna win the women's title back to back to back? Like, she's always looming around. They need to do something like what they're doing with Roman Reigns right now. Roman Reigns' position right now is perfect. Roman Reigns is not in the main event. He's not in the titles picture. Of course, he's going to be in the title picture again, but he's not in there right now. He's not hogging up the spotlight. He's not being pushed down our throat. So we don't have to worry about Roman Reigns. This is what's happening with Charlotte. Now, I know Charlotte is a good heel, but still, tone it down a little bit. I don't get why we can't ever see someone else get in the position. We saw Ember Moon, now we're going right back to Charlotte. Let's just switch it up a little bit. Charlotte can be a 16-time, 17-time world champion, but have the title reigns be evened out. Don't have a title reign, then lose it, and then like 2 months later she wins it back. Come on now. So obviously Charlotte wins. Charlotte taps out Ember Moon. After this, we have Daniel Bryan and Rowen coming out to talk and clear their name. Daniel Bryan basically says that there's no question someone's coming for Roman Reigns, but it's not him or Rowan at all. They're not the reason the car accident happened or the horrific backstage accident happened. And they said despite Buddy Murphy falsely accusing Rowan, he calls Murphy a liar, but he doesn't blame Murphy. He says if anyone from the crowd was put in a position that Buddy Murphy was in, they will cave in too and give Roman a name just so Roman can stop hurting them. And he says that the problem is Buddy gave the wrong name. So as Bryan says this, the crowd is chanting, "It was you." And Bryan yells at them. He says, "Do you guys think it was us?" And the crowd's chanting, "Yes." They doing a yes chant. Bryan says, "This is what's wrong with all of them. This is what's wrong with society. Someone tells a lie, it gets spread around social media, and all of a sudden, it's the truth." He hates to disappoint, but him and Rowan had nothing to do with the incident, and tonight they are going to prove it. He drops the mic, and then they leave. So Bryan is definitely going to prove it, trust me. Well, he's not. In my opinion, the way the story's playing out, it looks like it actually is Daniel Bryan. Now, I can be wrong, but he is a heel, and he sounds so confident, but the confidence is like a trick to hide the lie, in my opinion. It feels like it really is Daniel Bryan or Rowan, but I don't want to just assume anything yet. But if you ask me, that's who I feel like actually did it. So after this, we see Shane McMahon backstage. We have an interviewer asking him who's going to be his opponent, and then we see Samoa Joe comes. Samoa Joe says he's tired of Kevin walking around thinking he's a badass when he's the only badass. He basically said he's going to teach Shane a lesson. So now we know who Shane's opponent, no, who Kevin's opponent is Samoa Joe. And this is, I'm not sure about this. I think this is the first time we saw Kevin Owens versus Samoa Joe. And I don't think WWE even announced it, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time they wrestled in WWE together. So, hey, first time. But the match, it was pretty quick because shenanigans. I'll get into it when we get to it. So now we have Aleister Black in his little room, his little closet, whatever you want to call it. It's, yo, this is horrible. It's not horrible, but it's bad. The Aleister Black in NXT compared to the Aleister Black on the main roster are two different men. Aleister Black on NXT had little to nothing to say. This man only He only spoke when it was necessary. And that's exactly what I like about Aleister Black. He was mysterious, but he was deadly. The black mask came out of nowhere. It was just epic. Now they have him speaking in a tone, pick a fight with me. Like, no, that's annoying. I hate that they do that. I just wish that they booked him the same way they did in NXT, but obviously they, Vince and whoever's booking him has a vision for him. I don't like the vision so far. What they did in NXT worked out perfectly, but Black basically says everyone has a debt to pay, whatever, and he's ready to find in time which member in the locker room is gonna basically knock on his door again. Pick a fight with me. It's so annoying. I don't know why they told him to talk like that, but whatever. So we finally get to the match of the night. Now, in my opinion, Buddy Murphy, he treated this match like it was the most important thing in the world. If they book him right in the future, we're going to look back at this match and just realize this is the match that brought him to prominence and importance. This is the match where he actually hung with Roman Reigns and pretty much led him to a fantastic match. Both Roman and Buddy, sold each other's offense amazingly. I seen Roman sell like this before, but what he did tonight, he really put Buddy's moves over. Like, in my opinion, I heard that this match was supposed to happen at SummerSlam, just a rumor. I didn't want that to happen because, look, it's SummerSlam. More people are going to see it, so I'm just going to assume that they're going to bury Roman. It's going to be over, spear, 1, 2, 3, and basically they're going to have Buddy Murphy look like a loser. They didn't do that, but I would have enjoyed if this match was on SummerSlam and we got the same match that we got from here tonight or last night, but just a little bit more, because it's a pay-per-view. Why not go the little extra mile? But another thing I want to say before I get into the match, this match sort of reminds me of Drew McIntyre and Cedric Alexander, the match that we saw on Monday Night Raw, and that was the best match of Monday Night Raw, honestly. So look, they kind of used the same storyline here. Not really, but they kind of did. They have the two big guys, Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, and then they got the two small guys, Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy. So they used the same type of format. And what I want to say is at the end, Buddy Murphy sold that spear just like Cedric Alexander. Cedric Alexander got turned inside out and one of the most devastating Claymore kicks I ever seen. Same thing with this spear. Roman Reigns I never seen someone took a spear like that before. Now I want to question, who took the spear better? Dolph Ziggler or Buddy Murphy? Goldberg, I can't lie. I was watching a GIF of that spear that he gave to Dolph Ziggler. He murdered him. That was deadly. But I can't lie. This spear, I think I like this spear just a little bit more. And I really respect Roman for this. Obviously, he doesn't book the match, but if I'm Roman Reigns and I'm feeling cocky one day, I could just go up to Vince and be like, "What? I'm facing Buddy Murphy? Who is this guy? This 205 Live guy? Yo, Vince, I'm squashing him. I don't even want to take his moves. I don't want to do none of that, man. I'm Roman Reigns. We can have a decent match. The kid, he'd be fine." Imagine Roman Reigns said that. Roman Reigns didn't say that. Roman Reigns just had a great match, and that's why I respect him. He basically elevated Murphy instead of just burying Murphy and making himself look good. So I respect Roman Reigns for that. So let's just get into the match. So early in the match, we have both men and strikes back and forth. Eventually, Roman gets hit. He slides out of the ring. Murphy goes outside, follows, and throws him into the barricade twice. Murphy then breaks the ref count, comes back outside, then Roman throws him onto the announce table and Then we have I think we have a commercial after that. After this, Roman tries to go for the drive-by, but Murphy moves out the way, and then Murphy throws him into the steel steps, followed by a Meteora, a nice one. Back in the ring, Roman hits a schoolboy powerbomb, when he hits a schoolboy 1-2, then he lifts them up, powerbomb, strong grains, and then he charges at Murphy. But Murphy moves out the way. So Roman falls to the outside, and Murphy, he hits the ropes, does it, and he flips over, basically, plancha. He flips over on top of Roman Reigns. After this, back in the ring, Murphy hits a huge Meteora again from the top rope this time for a near fall. Roman kicks out. Murphy kicks Roman, but Roman, he comes right back after this kick and does a Superman punch and goes to the pin. Murphy kicks out, and this shocks Roman. You could see the shock on his face. After the Superman punch, Roman goes in the corner. He says the ooh wah, his little taunt. Goes for the spear, but Murphy hits a bicycle knee, right? That levels Roman. So Roman's down to one knee. Then Murphy grabs Roman's arms, pulls him into another knee. Devastating knee. This is my favorite spot. Then he hits a brainbuster out of nowhere. Good Lord. I jumped out of my seat when I saw that, and the crowd did too. The whole crowd was standing on their feet for that near fall. So it was 1-2, and Roman kicked out. So Murphy goes to the top, but Roman gets up, knocks him to the outside. Roman goes outside, hits the Superman punch on the outside, throws Murphy in the ring, and hits a devastating spear. I already told you guys about the sell job on it. He sold it. They both sold each other's moves. Murphy looked great even through a loss. Murphy, he just isn't just a great wrestler. He possesses phenomenal talent. He knows that he hasn't been given the best opportunities, but he believes in himself. And basically tonight he showed everyone what they've been missing. And in my eyes, he's not a loser. He walked out with a big win because he had the crowd in the palm of his hands by that spot. The near fall, people believed in him. He believes in himself. And like I said, this was just an overall win for him. He lost the match, but in my books, that's a win. Because once you have the crowd cheering for you and you get over from just wrestling, you win. So after this, we see the Revival backstage, and they're basically talking about their match with the New Day later on. But they say that their tag team match last week, or not last week, last Monday Night Raw on Monday, the tag team match was interrupted by the 24/7 championship, and they feel like it's a slap to the face. But they became dual 24/7 champion. And then they mentioned the New Day ruining the tag team division, and they never defeated the New Day, so it's an opportunity for them. So after this, we then see the New Day backstage, and Woods, he's crying. Oh, I wanted to be in the King of the Ring tournament. No, you don't, bro. Xavier Woods, you're a tag team champion. You don't need to be in the King of the Ring tournament. But basically, the New Day say, oh, we ruined a lot of things, but we didn't ruin the tag team division. Kofi says that, oh, Randy crossed the line when it comes to his family. You can't do that to his family, whatever. He's basically said that he's going to be with the New Day in their corner against the Revival. Now we have Samoa Joe versus Kevin Owens, and this match was a good match, pretty decent. Like, I wish I'd seen more of this match, but we have to have shenanigans. So before the match even starts, basically Shane tells, we don't hear or see Shane, but Shane gave the word to Greg Hamilton. He basically says that Elias will be the special guest enforcer like SummerSlam. So we see Elias jogging out in his little referee jersey looking all Aki. You see this guy, Elias, got muscles on muscles on muscles. But basically, at the end, we see Owens. He hits the pop-up powerbomb on Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is like 280 plus pounds. That was pretty impressive. But as Owens goes for it, he goes for the pin. Elias pulls the ref out, but the ref hits his face on the ground. Then obviously Owens sees it. and he looks at Elias. He pays his attention to Elias. Joe goes and rolls him up. Elias slides in the ring, and I'm pretty sure this is the fastest count I ever seen in my life. He was like 1, 2, 3. That's it. Like it was. If you blinked, it could have been over like that. That's how fast it was. Elias clearly he ran out the ring, and yeah. So I see that they're setting up the King of the Ring. I feel like it will be more shenanigans. I don't know if Kevin's gonna win it because the way it's kind of looking, he already mentioned earlier in the night how he would love to be in the list of names of the legends that won it, and now we're getting the shenanigans. What if he wins it, or what if he gets screwed? I don't know. Clearly, Shane and Elias, or whoever else Shane is gonna have with him, is gonna do everything they can so Kevin doesn't win it. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But I feel like this will play into that King of the Ring tournament. So now we have another segment with Daniel Bryan and Rowan, and this is not the last time we will see them either. We will see them at the end of the show, and this is, in my opinion, this is great storytelling. Basically, Daniel Bryan does exactly what Roman Reigns does to Buddy Murphy. So Daniel Bryan and Rowan, they come in our locker room. I see mostly 205 Live guys. And basically, he tells everyone to get out like Roman did. Tells Buddy, you stay. So then he goes to Buddy. Basically tells Buddy, I know that you lied. Just tell the world that you lied. Buddy doesn't say nothing. And the whole time, yo, I love Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is just a heel that you don't see too often. Daniel Bryan is probably one of the greatest heels I've seen in a long time. Just everything about him. And like, if you ask me, can he be a heel? I would have said no, because what I seen with Team Hell No, that was funny. So you feel me? As a heel, the Planet's champion, is his whole gimmick is just amazing. But Daniel Bryan is coming in Buddy Murphy's face the whole time. He's getting closer and closer and say, tell him you're lying, tell him you're lying. And Buddy Murphy doesn't say nothing. So basically, they attack Buddy Murphy. You have Rowan throwing Buddy Murphy all around the locker room, just like Roman Reigns did. And eventually, they get Buddy Murphy pinned down, just like Roman Reigns, with the forearm right across his mouth. And he's saying, tell him. And then Buddy Murphy says, okay. And then Bryan says, that's not enough. Say you're lying. And Buddy Murphy basically says he's lying. And they let him go. And then Bryan said he doesn't like liars. So Rowan grabs him, throws him across, hits a trash can again. They walk out. Now, I really enjoyed this. I didn't like it at first with Roman. When Roman beat up Buddy Murphy, I felt like, oh, they making him look weak. But I let it slide, and I'm happy I did let it slide because it's playing into the story. If we never got that happening, we probably would have never got that Roman Reigns versus Buddy Murphy match. That fantastic match that we saw earlier. So I'm happy that this happened. This is great storytelling. This basically proves exactly what Daniel Bryan says. If I get you in that position and you're stuck and my forearm is across your face and I want you to say something and you know that you have to say something for me to let you go, you're going to say it. Just like if anyone was in that position. So it's a perfect storytelling. Daniel Bryan is right. And it took a little bit for Buddy Murphy to say that he was lying. So I feel like he lied to say that he was lying. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't lie. He was telling the truth. He just lied so Rowan could get him out. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is perfect storytelling. I really think it is Daniel Bryan and Rowan. I really don't want to jump the gun, but you feel me? The way it's looking, it looks like it really is them. So finally, we have our last match. It's New Day versus the Revival. The New Day come out, and before the Revival come out, we have Randy Orton come out, right? Randy Orton basically said that Kofi Kingston is a coward. He ran away from him. And Kofi, what is Kofi going to do when he has to tell his children one day, oh, why couldn't he beat the big scary Randy Orton? And he's going to tell them that Kofi is weak and he's a coward. He can't do it, basically. And Randy basically challenges Kofi in a match, but in a 6-man tag team match. Now, in my opinion, I wish this did not happen. I wish we just had a traditional tag team match and Randy screwed Randy screwed the New Day and losing. That would have worked, and Randy still could have got the RKO's at the end on Kofi Kingston. But no, we had to have a 6-man tag. I don't know why, whatever. But we got a regular 6-man tag. I'm not even gonna go over it. It was barely decent. So at the end, Shatter Machine to Xavier Woods, 1, 2, 3 is over. After this, Kofi's fighting off the Revival, and out of nowhere, RKO out of nowhere on Kofi Kingston. After this, Randy goes to Xavier Woods, RKO Xavier Woods. The Revival get back in the ring, help him get Big E up, RKO to Big E, and then one more RKO to Kofi Kingston. And I pretty much enjoyed what they did. Since they're continuing the feud, we gotta have Randy Orton look strong because of the BS finish that we got at SummerSlam. I really hated that match, how they just had to do it. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me exactly like Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. Because if you remember, Samoa Joe was coming for AJ Styles' daughter, Wendy. And he's like, oh, Wendy. And then I don't know, I'm not sure which pay-per-view it was. I think it was SummerSlam. But we got a BS finish in that pay-per-view as well. Like basically the same thing. Samoa Joe was taunting AJ Styles' family, and Randy Orton taunted Kofi Kingston family. So it was pretty much the same thing. That's what it reminded me of. But yeah, kind of enjoying the storyline with Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton. I wish Randy Orton lost so Kofi could get that guarantee win, and then Randy could just say it was a fluke. You can't do it again. Then they take the title off Kofi and give it to Randy. If they do that, I think that would have made more sense. But whatever, they just had to go to BS finish. They're probably gonna have 3 matches. I hope that's what it leads to. So finally, we get to the cliffhanger of the show. We have Daniel Bryan and Rowan in a locker room, and Roman Reigns, he enters the locker room, and they stare each other down. Daniel Bryan says, oh, we've been waiting for you, and he wants Roman to apologize because he says Roman apologized to Samoa Joe last week because he found out he wasn't involved in it. So he knows that Buddy Murphy lied now, so he needs to apologize to him and Rowan. So basically, Roman Reigns doesn't say nothing. He's staring both Rowan and Daniel Bryan down. Roman Reigns, he has a towel around him, around his shoulders, and he pulls the towel down. And Bryan is like, whoa, 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 before you turn this melee and get hurt, we have our own investigation. Basically, they have been doing their own investigation work. And Bryan says he will show Roman who exactly attacked them next week. Now, I like this because it's a cliffhanger and it gives us a reason to tune in next week. But here's my little logic gap. It's kind of a little nitpicky, but if somebody, say if I'm in Roman Reigns' shoes right now, if somebody told me they have an idea and they know who tried to kill me twice, and they tell me I have to wait till next week to find out, I'm beating them up just like they did to Murphy until they tell me. That's pretty much what I would do. What would you do? Would you wait till next week? But obviously, this is wrestling. Who cares? But yeah, it gives us a reason to watch next week. So yeah, that was the whole SmackDown show. I really enjoyed it because we had story continuation. Most of the stories made sense, except for the Charlotte Flair Ember Moon. I already explained how they kind of buried Ember Moon in a way. But overall, SmackDown was good, so I gotta say it was way better than Raw. So once again, I've only been covering SmackDown or Raw for 2 weeks now, for the second time in a row. SmackDown, in my opinion, beats Raw, and SmackDown, it used to be the A show, even though they called it the B show before the brand split. No, before the Superstar shakeup, before WrestleMania actually. So before WrestleMania 35, SmackDown was clearly the better show. Monday Night Raw, it was putting on bad shows every week. So after the shakeup, SmackDown Live, it kind of got bad. But now I see that SmackDown Live is getting back good a little bit. Not as much. I'm not putting all my faith in it, but just a little bit. So I could agree that SmackDown is way better than Raw right now, and I'm just enjoying it. It wasn't a bad show. I'm just enjoying it as it goes by. So guys, to close this off, make sure you like the video, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. You know the deal. The more likes, comments, subscribers I get, the more YouTube is going to push my video out. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Logic is Key YT. Make sure you add the YT at the end so you know it's me. And there you go, guys. That was a SmackDown review. It was a good show, and I'm looking forward to next week. I'm looking forward to who's gonna be the culprit that Daniel Bryan Rowen brings out. And by the way, in my opinion, I want someone that's not on TV. I hope it's someone like, and you know what? I want, what's his name? What's his name? What's his name? I forgot his name. What's his name? I want Harper. There you go. Luke Harper. I imagine Daniel Bryan brings out Luke Harper and says Luke Harper did it, and it's a swerve all this time. They're all three of them are working together. I would like that. I would really enjoy that. And I don't know how they will book it after that, but that would be a nice way to include Luke Harper because Luke Harper hasn't been doing anything. But yeah, guys, this is the end of my SmackDown Live review for August 13, 2019. I hope you guys enjoy and you can relate. I hope you guys just agree with everything I said because I'm being real with you. I'm giving you guys just like how it is. Hope you guys understand. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast.